Hello, everyone, and thank you for listening to I Am Me podcast with your host, Tashiana Mickens. I want to thank those who subscribed to my channel last week, and I want to thank the newcomers for subscribing to my channel this week. Last week we talked about habits and eliminating, and this week we're going to talk about a wise woman. I chose the topic wise woman because I was actually at work not too long ago, or should I say the other day, and I actually seen two females walk past each other, bashing each other and looking at each other crazy instead of giving each other, encouraging words. And not only do I see that at work, but I also see that every day on the media. Another female bashing another female for what she looked like, or bashing another female for working a 9 to 5, or, bashing another female or whatever because of who her man is or who her woman is, instead of getting her own. You know what I'm saying? So we have to, spread encouraging words to one another, because for one, we don't know what that person may be going through in life. You can be bashing one person, you can be bashing somebody, whatever, for whatever the reason is, but the next day they might not even be here. You know what I'm saying? And now you feeling sorry, you feeling bad because of how you treated that person. You have to spread kind words. You have to humble yourself, And if you feel as if like you have to spread that negativity, then at the end of the day, you need to get to know who you is. Because that's the only reason why you're bashing another female, because you don't know who you is. At the end of the day, you have to get to know who you is first. A wise woman know how to think, she know how to feel, and she know what she wants. When she walk in the room, everybody know who she is because of how she carry herself. She has built this character about who she is. The earlier in life that you start to know who you is, the easier you will become. Some people may think that, it's the followers on IG that make you who you are. Some people may think that, it's your favorite color. Some people may think that, it's your favorite food, what club you like, how much money you have, what kind of weave you have in your head, what your nails look like, what kind of car you drive and what house you live in. What makes you who you is. No, that's not what makes you who you is, Nobody would ever love you the way you love yourself. You have to take pride in your craft. You have to stay around positive people. You have to practice more on inspiration. And you have to never let anyone take your joy and tell you that you cannot succeed. I myself have had my days where, I feel as if like, I'm not good enough, or, my craft is not good enough, but you would never know until you put it out there. Nobody would never know who you is until you put it out there. Sometimes, stress may get in the way of, what your actually goal is, but, you will eventually figure it out. It does not come overnight. It doesn't come in 2 days. It doesn't come in a week. Sometimes some people, I'm gonna put it like this, some people know who they are when they're a child. Some people know who they are when they're in college. And you have some people that fall on their ass and then eventually get back up and know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Eventually you will figure it out. Eventually you will know who you are. Eventually you will know who you are. Like I said, stay around positive people. It's okay to get advice from somebody, but if you get advice from somebody, at least get advice from somebody that's on the same level as you, or get somebody that's above you. Don't get somebody that's below you, somebody who's going to belittle you. If you're next to somebody and somebody is talking about the next person, what makes you think they're not talking about you? That's not a wise woman. That right there is not a wise woman at all. Fools mock at the sin offering, but those that make of sin make light in the Christ. Like I said, fools mock at the sin offering, but those that make of sin make light in Christ. If you don't understand what that means, how about you look it up in the Bible at Proverbs? Because every female should know that she is beautiful, she is smart. Every female should know to love themselves and to know that their opinions matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop listening to the next person who's not going to do nothing for you. Like I said, continue to build your character, continue to feel like a woman, continue to think and continue to know what you want. Never walk in the room with your head down because you are unseen. Keep your head up. And know that, it's okay. We have to hold each other's hand and practice more on empowerment for each other. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, being standoffish and being a bitch to each other. Like, being a bitch to one female to another is not cool. You know what I'm saying? It's not cool because when you're a female and you doing it to one another, these little girls that's looking up to you is going to be exactly what you are. They're going to become what you are, which is an ain't shit person. Excuse my language, but that's exactly what they're going to become, an ancient person, because money is not going to bring happiness. Money will make you succeed quicker, but the same way you got that money is the same way it can be easily taken away. It can be easily taken away from you. Easily. So please remind yourself to build courage. Like I said, continue to love one another. I would be dropping podcasts every Sunday, and this is only part 1 of this podcast. I will be dropping part 2 a little later. I want to thank everybody for, listening to me. Like I said, this is new to me. Very, very different, outside my character a little bit. But, instead of me, holding all these thoughts that was going on in my mind, I decided to write them down. And why not, drop it on a podcast? Everybody has a voice. So now why not, let myself, and why not pour my feelings out to one person to another? Because you never know, it may help another person. I hope this segment helped whoever is listening, and thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, I have answers. And don't forget to subscribe to I and Me podcast with your host, Tashiana. Thank you.